So hi guys, we're here for our training session for our MMA athletes. So he's a grappler specialty. We're here to increase his maximal strength and also his velocity. So he has a high strength level, no injury except shoulder ache, and he's a balanced athlete. So for this athlete, we're going to do 5 weeks of strength power and then 5 weeks of velocity power. The aim on the first cycle is to increase the maximum strength of the athlete, and in the second cycle we're going to increase his velocity and sustain the maximal strength. So for this athlete we're going to use the French contrast method. So the aim is to start with a navy compound, so start it to 80% until 90% of the RM, and then you just have a plyometric compound or a drop set. And then you finally end with an accelerated plyometric phase. Go. So on the French contrast, you're going to use resistance training at different percentage of the RM, and combine those movements to lower load movements with the same pattern with just a different velocity. You can increase the recruitments of the motor units. So for this athlete, we're going to use the fourth fundamental way of training for a fighter. So we're going to use pull for the upper body, push for the upper body, and also push and pull for the lower body. Okay, so on the first half of the training program, we're going to just focus on the maximal strength and on the strength power. And then in the second part, we're going to focus on the velocity power and velocity parts.
Hello guys, so today we're going to introduce our works by a little description of MMA sport. So what is MMA sport? MMA sport is a fight between two guys during 3 rounds of 5 minutes. Okay.
So Cronin in his study showed us that you need in ballistic sports with short and intense effort, power. Power will be the main things to work on because it will be the most important component of the sport. And so for the push upper body, the main exercise will be the bench press. So now for the pushing upper body, we're going to do a bench press on the ground. We use the ground to protect the shoulders of the fighter and to be like specifically for MMA and the grappler fighter. Good variation for this exercise would be to have an hip thrust position with the hip fixed and blocked, with the glute fixed and mobilized, and with the feet on the ground. This exercise you can visualize that you are on the ground and you have to push your opponent straight forward or on the side. So second exercise will be the plyometric push-ups. So on this exercise the aim is just to go the most explosive as possible. So third exercise will be something really specific for a grappler and MMA fighter. We're going to use a medicine ball. We're going to put the athlete on the ground and he's going to have to push in the most explosive way with the hip and disarm straight up. Come on! Come on! And the last exercise will be focused on the velocity. We're going to do assisted rubber band push-ups. So the aim of this exercise is to have the maximal velocity on each rep. So the aim is really to focus on the abs and on the trunk with the back, and to maintain a position to push the fastest as possible. And on this exercise, the most important will also to put the rubber band on the chest and not on the trunk, but only on the chest to maintain the maximum strength at the pushing phase. So now for the pull upper body, we're gonna use pull-ups. So first exercise of the pulling upper body will be loaded pull-ups. The aim of this exercise is to develop the maximum strength on the back and on the arms. We can have variation by working with kimono bands to increase the grip of the MMA athlete.
Go!
Now the second exercise will be the jumped pull-ups. So the exercise is clearly a power exercise. The aim is to develop also the strength and also the velocity. So the third exercise will be a medicinal ball throw. So in this exercise, you're gonna focus on the position. So first of all, you're gonna have an extension of your arms. You're gonna try to not fold them. Then you're gonna have an extension on your feet. And then you will have to transfer the energy from the bottom to the top to explode and give the maximum strength when you throw the ball. There you go. So the last exercise will be on over velocity training. So we're gonna use assisted pull-ups to increase the velocity of the reps. And then on this exercise, we're gonna try to put the rubber band just under the feet. And the aim is just to balance the movement and to avoid all the parasites. So the main exercise for lower body pull will be the deadlift. So the first exercise for the lower body will be the deadlift trap bar. So you can add rubber bands to the trap bar to avoid inertia, or if you don't have a trap bar, you just can put rubber bands on the side and maintain your back straight and visualize that the trap bar will be the opponent. So for the second exercise of the lower body, we're gonna do broad jumps. We're gonna start on the knees and to push on the toes to be like a specific fighter. And then you have to push on your knees, get back on your feet, and then do 2 plyometric jumps.
Top.
So third exercise, we're gonna do the same as the first one. We're gonna do a trap bar deadlift, but we're gonna jump. Use plyometric jumps between all reps. So last exercise, we're gonna start in bear position, and then at the top of the trainer, we're gonna do a 10-meter sprint.
Top. Quand tu veux.
So now the main exercise for the push lower body will be the squat. So first exercise for the pushing parts of the lower body, we're gonna do a Zersha squat. So on this position, we're gonna do something specific really for the fighters. We're gonna try to maintain the back straight and just to push on the legs. And to do a variation, we can have a rubber band between the two legs, just up of the knee. And we're gonna try in this way to maximize the utilization and to recruitment of the medial gut.
Quand tu veux.
Second exercise will be truck jump. We used this exercise to increase the recruitments and the solicitation on the quads.
Go.
So third exercise will be simply a squat jump with a resistance band that we're going to fix to the dumbbell on the ground. So we're going to fix 1 rubber band on the hip and 2 rubber band on the shoulder to have a maintain of the position. So on this exercise, we're gonna have the rubber bands to avoid the inertia and to have a maximum recruitment of the fight.
Vas-y. Top.
And then the last exercise will be a body weight assisted jump with rubber bands. We're going to put the arm in their third position to maintain and to sustain this position, specifically for the fighters.
Vas-y, c'est bon.